missed my first step. My first word was dad. This house is filled with pictures of someone I never had. I know your voice. I think I know your smile. But mommy says clothes haven't smelled like your clothes in a while. I know afraid all your letters that say how you do it for me. And mommy says how you keeping us safe, even though it might not be easy to see. We'll leave the light on until Daddy comes home. We'll leave the light on for our soldier to remember all who've fallen, honor all who served. The soldier's light will be lit and forever burn. We'll leave the light on. Late at night, when mommy thinks she's all alone, I hear her pray to God. Lord, I don't know how much longer I can hold us together. Alone, it's becoming so hard. I know afraid all your letters that say how you do it for me. And mommy says how you keeping us safe, even though it might not be easy to see. Mommy, we'll leave the light on until Daddy comes home. We'll leave the light on for our soldier to remember all who've fallen, honor all who served. The soldier's light will be lit and forever burn. We'll leave the light on. We'll leave the light on until Daddy comes home. We'll leave the light on for our soldier to remember all who've fallen, honor all who served. The soldier's light will be lit and forever burn. Let's leave the light on.
Hello, YouTube land. How is everybody doing on this Memorial Day weekend? Memorial Day weekend isn't just about the barbecues and family time and traveling on an extended weekend. Though all of that is part of it, no, Memorial Day runs a lot deeper than that. Memorial Day, originally known as Decoration Day, is a federal holiday in the United States for honoring and mourning the U.S. military personnel who died while serving in the United States Armed Forces. Originally known as Decoration Day, it originated in the years following the Civil War and became an official federal holiday in 1971. Many Americans observe Memorial Day by visiting cemeteries or memorials, holding family gatherings, and participating in parades. The Civil War, which ended in the spring of 1865, claimed more lives than any other conflict in U.S. history and required the establishment of the country's first national cemeteries. By the late 1860s, Americans in various towns and cities had begun holding springtime tributes to these countless fallen soldiers, decorating their graves with flowers and reciting prayers. It is unclear where exactly these traditions originated. Numerous different communities may have independently initiated the memorial gatherings, and some records show that one of the earliest Memorial Day commemorations was organized by a group of formerly enslaved people in Charleston, South Carolina, less than a month after the Confederacy surrendered in 1865. Nevertheless, in 1966, the federal government declared Waterloo, New York, the official birthplace of Memorial Day. Waterloo, which first celebrated the day on May 5, 1866, was chosen because it hosted an annual community-wide event, during which businesses closed and residents decorated the graves of soldiers with flowers and flags. On May 5, 1868, General John A. Logan, leader of an organization for Northern Civil War veterans, called for a nationwide day of remembrance later that month. The 30th of May, 1868, is designated for the purpose of strewing with flowers or otherwise decorating the graves of comrades who died in defense of their country during the late rebellion, and whose bodies now lie in almost every city, village, and hamlet churchyard in the land, he proclaimed. The date of Decoration Day, as he called it, was chosen because it wasn't the anniversary of any particular battle. On the first Decoration Day, General James Garfield made a speech at Arlington National Cemetery, and the 5,000 participants decorated the graves of the 20,000 Civil War soldiers buried there. Many northern states held similar commemorative events and reprised the tradition in subsequent years. By 1890, each one had made Decoration Day an official state holiday. Southern states, on the other hand, continued to honor the dead on separate days until after World War I. Memorial Day, as Decoration Day gradually came to be known, originally honored only those lost while fighting in the Civil War. But during World War I, the United States found itself embroiled in another major conflict, and the holiday evolved to commemorate American military personnel who died in all wars, including World War II, the Vietnam War, the Korean War, and the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. For decades, Memorial Day continued to be observed on May 30th, the date that General Logan had selected for the first Decoration Day. But in 1968, Congress passed the Uniform Monday Holiday Act, which established Memorial Day as the last Monday in May in order to create a 3-day weekend for the federal employees. The change went into effect in 1971. The same law also declared Memorial Day a federal holiday. What I would like to see on YouTube land is that this Monday, Memorial Day, we refrain from doing lives that are nothing but attacks, slander, hate, whatever you want to call it. Instead, we should be showing respect for those that have given their lives for the freedoms that we have in this country to be able to attack and slander and whatever. We should be showing respect and honor to those that gave their lives. Those soldiers that gave their lives on D-Day on the beaches of France. Those soldiers that gave their lives at the Battle of the Bulge in the Ardennes Forest. Those soldiers that gave their lives at Iwo Jima between Saipan and Tokyo. Those soldiers that lost their lives at Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941. Those military men that lost their lives in the Battle of Midway. Those soldiers that lost their lives during the Battle of Okinawa. Those soldiers that lost their life during the Tet Offensive in Vietnam. Those soldiers that lost their lives in the Battle of Hamburger Hill in Vietnam. Those soldiers that lost their lives in the Battle of Khe Sanh in Vietnam. Those soldiers that lost their lives in the Battle of Bloody Ridge in the Korean War. Those soldiers that lost their lives during the Battle of Old Baldy during the Korean War. Those soldiers that lost their lives during the Chinese Spring Offensive in the Korean War. Those that lost their lives in the Chosin Reservoir in the Korean War. And I can go on and on and on. Out of all the days to show any kind of respect, this Monday, Memorial Day, is the day to do that. So I'm asking all creators out there to please show respect and honor on Monday, Memorial Day. Refrain from your attacks, your hate, your nasty dispositions, and the ugliness that goes on here in our community. We can at least take one day off to show some respect for some poor soldier who died in a foxhole, or whose plane got shot down out of the air, or whose ship got sunk out at sea. It's the very least that we can do. Hopefully, this will happen. And with that said, God bless you. Have a great Memorial Day, and go visit a war memorial or a grave site and show honor and respect to a fallen hero. And to anyone who's listening to this, please share this video to as many creators as you can so that we can pull together for at least one day and make it good, make it respectful, and show honor and dignity to our fallen heroes. Thank you for your time.
In the wind, a flag flies, oh say can you see, the symbol of freedom and bravery. In the wind are the breaths that power its flight, from laughter to prayers to sounds of the fight. In the wind, on land, or even by sea, soldiers and sailors, airmen and marines. In the wind is the scent of black powder and mud, cigarettes in the trenches to cover the blood. In the wind, on the shores at Omaha Beach, lie the voices we've buried in Normandy. In the wind, headlines send our troops into danger, into harsh lands, brothers in arms, yet still total strangers. In the wind, choppers rumble, bombs burst in the air, boots stomp the ground, 1,000-mile stare. In the wind are the howls of the wounded and doomed. Tell my children I love them, it's the least you can do. In the wind, bullets whiz. In the wind, prayers are said. In the wind, we play taps to honor our dead. In the wind, a tear falls. A gold star is created. Another folded flag on behalf of a grateful nation. In the wind, men have marched to the ends of the earth, trading life for freedom, for that's what it's worth. In the wind, at first light, we hoist up Old Glory for all to see, as the wind softly muffles a trumpet's reveille. In the wind are the whispers of the birth of a nation, and the voices of soldiers from all generations. In the wind are the echoes of the fight to stay free. In the wind are the tearful shouts of victory. In the wind we remember with celebrations and chatter, a way to say thank you, their sacrifice matters. In the wind flies a flag of a people resolved, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.